All right.
All right, get serious. Quit messing around.
Take 4.
Good afternoon. It's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
We try so hard to make it exciting. It's really just, I was going to say cruise news. It's not cruise news. Woo! Real estate news.
That's right. It's hard to make
you.
real estate news exciting sometimes.
It is.
We do our best.
Yeah. So episode 72.
All right.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Please
share
do.
with a friend.
Our next goal is 200 subscribers. So
We are adding like one a week.
Is that it? One a week?
I wish it was a little more, but one a week.
We gotta try harder.
We actually, I think, added 2 subscribers this week.
So we doubled
Ryan
our
and Christy.
rate. All right. Okay, you got a joke for us? Let's get this show on the road.
Well, you know, my doctor told me to start an exercise program slowly.
That's a good
So
idea.
I drove past the store that sells exercise equipment. Slowly.
Okay.
It was funnier than that. Come on.
When a man says he'll do anything for a woman, it's a communication breakdown between men and women. Okay. He means fight bad guys and kill dragons, not vacuum and wash dishes.
Just every once in a while, just unload the dishwasher. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I do it once in a while. I do it a lot, actually.
You do.
All right, this week, a little bit of history. 1987, Fox launches its first primetime series, Married with Children.
Oh, man.
That was so funny.
That ran for the longest time, like 12 seasons, I think.
Yeah, it was a funny
Married
show.
with Children, yep.
1968, Martin Luther King Jr., 39, is assassinated April 4th in Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow.
1953, on April 3rd, the
Tragedy.
first issue of TV Guide is published. I remember we used to get this every week.
Did you?
Yeah, showed up in the mail. It's still published.
Oh,
But
okay.
I just argued with Google, and she would not tell me whether it was still published in paper or
doubt
if
it.
it's. I don't think so. I
don't
haven't
think
seen
so.
it like in the grocery store.
In the grocery store,
during the
yeah.
summer. I
There
think-
are some things that are still published that you see in the grocery store, but I don't know that I've seen
Yeah, I don't think
that
they publish it in paper anymore.
I think like Soap Opera Digest is still there.
Well, of course.
If you're going to lose anything, lose that one.
All right, you might get some argument there. Send all
Yeah.
the emails to her, please. Okay, 1949, 12 nations sign on April 4th to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization,
NATO.
NATO. Do you know the 12?
I don't. I wondered when I read
Okay.
that.
U.S., Canada, Belgium,
Kind of
France,
neighbors. It's hard not to.
Norway, Portugal, Denmark,
Okay.
Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg.
Okay.
Did I say Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Netherlands and the United Kingdom.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And those are all still part of NATO, I believe.
Yes, and it has
Yeah.
expanded, and I'm sorry I didn't ask how many current members there are, but those are the 12
I'm going to say there's like
original.
26.
Really?
That's just a guess.
Yeah. that's
I don't
a
know
guess.
where I'm getting that number from, honestly. Sometimes I make stuff up. But I
Okay.
usually say if I made it up.
All right, and you made this one up.
I think. I said I think it's 26.
You probably heard it somewhere. So
I
you
probably
can-
did. I probably did hear it on CNN or
You might be right.
PBS, NewsHour, yeah.
Okay, 1865, the U.S. Civil War ends with Confederate surrender April 9th
Wow.
at Appomattox, Virginia.
Are you sure about that pronunciation?
I asked Google, because it does not look like Appomattox.
No, it doesn't.
What, are you checking me?
No, I really want to know how many members.
Oh,
Are
you
in
can't let
NATO.
that go.
No, I can't let it
Okay,
go,
I want
yeah.
to keep going, okay?
Okay, please
This
do,
is
yeah.
going to last all afternoon. 1896, the first modern Olympic Games began April 6th in Athens, Greece.
The first Olympic Games, 1896?
Yep, Sean Miller was on the snowboard.
No, he was not. No, Let's not. Stop it. I can't believe he's still skiing in the Olympics, but
I think this was his last one. So.
30.
There's 30.
30
Okay.
members.
You weren't too far
I
off.
wasn't
You were
too far
by 4.
off.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Moving on.
Moving on. 1841, on April 4th, William Henry Harrison is the first U.S. president to die in office.
Yeah, and you, I noticed, were asking Google about this too and researching this a little bit. I had
31
some
days.
curiosity.
He was only in. He died of pneumonia. 31 days.
Pneumonia.
Yeah, shortest term as president.
Okay.
1513, on April 3rd, Spanish explorer Ponce de Leon lands in modern day Florida.
You got it. You said it.
Oh, you thought I was going to ball that one up?
Yeah. I was harassing you earlier in the office.
All right, moving on. A little bit of economic news, price
Okay.
pressures, personal consumption expenditures.
PCE.
Thank you. Index rose 5.4% from a year ago, its largest jump in 40 years. Wowzer.
Gas prices.
Yep, gas and food. The PCE jumped 6.4% in response to rampant inflation. The Federal Reserve recently raised baseline interest rates, we're going to talk about that a lot, by 0.25% and expects to make 6 more hikes this year, according to CNBC. And they have 6 more meetings, so they expect them to raise the price at each of those meetings.
Well, let's hope that they're, the 0.25% versus the
Well, the
0.5%.
last meeting, they're indicating that it'll be a 0.5 point, the last one. I'll go over what they think it's going to end the year at.
Okay.
Okay, oil relief. Oil prices plummeted last week. What did I pay? I paid $4.39.
Certainly not plummeted.
Well, it was a 30-cent a gallon drop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I paid $4.39 at Costco this week. So
Okay.
it's moving down in the right direction.
Good.
Oil prices plummeted last week after the White House announced a 6-month infusion of 1 million barrels of oil per day from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. With global instability spiking prices, the release is to serve as bridge until the end of the year when domestic production ramps up, the administration said in a statement, that according also to CNBC.
Domestic production. Okay, so that's
Yep.
here in the United States. That's good.
So they're going to tap into that reserve for about 6 months. 1 million barrels a day. That's a lot of oil. Solid jobs. U.S. farm, U.S. non-farm payrolls increased by 431,000 jobs in March, and the counts for January and February totals were revised upward by 95,000, sending unemployment to a 2-year low of 3.6%. So basically, anybody that wants to work is working.
Well, and we're close to pre-pandemic levels as well, which was
Very,
3.5.
very close. 3.5.
So,
we're
that's
right
good.
there. With tighter labor conditions and higher wages, the Fed seemingly has every reason to raise rates to dampen inflationary flames.
Yeah.
That according to Reuters. So
I guess they gotta do what they can. I don't understand. I don't know. I still struggle with the raising the rates and how it's helping, because it seems like it's not helping. So,
Well, it takes
struggle.
time, but
Takes
it will. That's one of the Fed's primary tools for controlling inflation is raising the interest rate. It cools the economy, basically. That's what it does.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's
you
true.
hate to
It
ever
has.
cool the economy, but you can't keep having out of control inflation. You know,
No.
$10 for a loaf of bread, that's not going to work.
I won't eat bread.
This is a tough crowd today, let me tell you. All right, housing news, new heat, and we're going to keep talking about this. After cooling off slightly toward the end of 2021,
Right.
home price gains have reaccelerated to 19.2% in January, up from 18.9% in December. Tight supply and strong demand appear to be outweighing rising mortgage rates, though pending home sales, grain of salt here,
Aha.
signed contracts on existing homes have fallen for 4 straight months.
Yeah.
So I think we're seeing some lagging results.
So they're saying even though tight supply and strong demand are rising or outweighing the rising rates, the pending home sales have continued
Exactly.
to fall.
So I think we're gonna see some drop in the accelerated appreciation rate. That
Yeah.
according to CNBC. Some economists and housing experts say higher mortgage rates will end the unsustainable trajectory for home prices. Others say home prices are about supply and demand regardless of the rate. So
are you in house A or house B?
Right.
Are you of the school of thought that you feel like the higher interest rates are going to slow houses down, house sales down, and therefore drop prices? Or are you in house B that say it doesn't matter? Homes are going to sell no matter what, even though the rates are higher. People are just going to have a little bit higher interest rate for a few years until they can refinance lower or what have you.
Right.
Answer below. Let's have a debate.
Okay, the truth, somewhere in the middle. Bottom line, to whatever extent price gains are going to decelerate, it's still too soon to tell. That according to Mortgage News Daily.
News Daily, they say they don't know. It's somewhere in the middle, maybe.
Okay, and I've said this probably a dozen times, and I just have never said it this eloquently. So, bubble building. Housing prices have risen more than 30% in a span of 2 years.
Okay.
A growth rate exceeding that seen before the financial crisis of 2007. So we get that comparison again. When prices collapse from rampant speculation and too easy credit.
Yeah, that was a perfect storm then.
That is so well said.
It is so well said. I like that.
Today's prices, however, are built on a huge mismatch between supply and demand, and no crash seems imminent.
Yeah.
That according to CNBC. That is so elegantly written.
What we see more than anything, and we've talked about this a few times, is a leveling. You know, a leveling in the appreciation level, a leveling in the sales rate. So things are going to level off as inflation builds, as prices go up, but the prices on homes will level, and demand therefore will level some as well. But man, there are a lot of houses being built, lot of houses being built, and that's going to help that demand, and thereby keep prices at a steady rate.
Yep, let's hope so. Okay, bye-bye dove, hello hawk. Regulatory news. Last month, the Fed raised interest rates. We just talked about that. First time since 2018, and signaled a far more aggressive posture toward inflation. The shift reflects rising disdain for rising prices among the public and politicians. So everybody is on board here that we need to take this pill. Futures traders are now pricing in a total lift in the 2.5% to 2.75% range by the end of the year, according to Reuters. So,
okay, so they're saying, interpret that for us, because I think I'm understanding it, but...
Well, initially what we're talking about is they've got 6 more meetings, and they're going to raise the rate every time.
Right.
So if they do a quarter point each time,
and that's
by the last one,
1.5%.
they're probably gonna raise the rate. Depending on the economy, they'll take a look at it anywhere from a half a point to a full point, and you're gonna end up at the 2.5% or 2.75% rate by the end of the year.
Wow.
So they are really being aggressive on getting this inflation under control. So that according to Reuters.
Eek.
All right, that's your news
And that's
for
the
this week.
Regulatory news to end all news this week.
Yeah. All right.
Woo.
Rates actually tricked down just a bit.
We will take it. We will take it.
Not a lot, but we'll take anything we can get. The 30-year drop from 4.934 down to 4.866.
Good.
15-year drop from 3.939 down to 3.925. Not a lot, but
Just
hey,
a little bit,
it's
yeah.
something. And the VA also dropped 4.658 down to 4.557.
Okay.
Inventory, not huge, but it is definitely ticking up a little bit each week. The Valley went from 4,595 last week up to 4,797 this week.
Okay, wow.
Peoria as well went from 119 to 134, and Surprise also went up 166 to 182 this week.
Good. We will need that inventory for April and May because these can be busy months for sure.
School's going to be letting out, and people are going to be ready to make their move during the summer.
Yeah.
Before school starts again.
Before school starts, yep.
You want us to start looking for a home for you and watching things, get in touch with us now so that we can start getting your search set up and keeping an eye on things for you.
Well, we have a tool also for those new home, new home availability. Even though it's through the builders, we have a tool that's through the MLS, but it also puts us in touch with the home builders, what their inventory is, what square footage is, all those things. So, let us know. We can have a tool to search for that too.
Yeah, and again, it costs you nothing to have a realtor when you have a new home built, and we are, another set of eyes for your walkthroughs and, the questions. We can ask questions that we think are important, that we have accumulated so much experience in the last decade and a half that it's a benefit. It doesn't hurt, and we can certainly help negotiate. We might be able to get you appliances, maybe a lot premium. There's things that we can do to help you get the best deal possible and hopefully not make any mistakes. Especially if it's your first time doing this. So
there's a lot of pitfalls out there, so use us as a resource for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, a little closer to home here. Trilogy of Estancia has 9 homes available currently.
Yeah.
Most affordable, $489,000, and the most expensive, $1,195,000. Staunch Village has 8, the most affordable, coming in at $420,000. The most expensive still at $1,149,000.
I feel like that inventory hasn't changed much this week.
No, it's been pretty stable, and they're not budging on the price of that $1,149,000. It is a fantastic home, monstrous lot, huge home.
I wonder about that 420 also. It seems like it's the same house, but maybe it's not.
That I couldn't tell you for sure.
Anyway.
Okay, Blackstone Country Club still has 1 home available, priced at $825,000.
Okay.
Portobello's gets 6, most affordable $630,000, most expensive $1,149,000. Sun City Grand has 24, most affordable $373,000, and the most expensive $729,900.
Okay, wow.
Sun City West has 46 available, that same little patio home, $190,000.
Yeah, it's an estate sale.
Too much dwelling on that one little home. The most expensive in Sun City West, $895,000. And finally, Westbrook Village has 5 homes available, $415,000 the most affordable, and $670,000 tops the list.
All right. So they actually have a little bit of a span there in prices for Westbrook.
Yeah, it's still pretty tight, but tighter than it was last week, 450 and 460 or something.
Yeah, there was 2 homes.
Yeah,
and they were $10,000 apart.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Okay, that's our report for this week. Weather has been just absolutely amazing. We are going to start seeing peak of the day in the mid-90s now. So it's starting to warm up. All sunshine, no rain in the forecast. But
it's all right. We'll take it.
Still gorgeous out. Morning still a little cool and crisp. So get out there and enjoy it. Everybody have a blessed week. Enjoy the weekend, and we will see you again next week.
See you next week. The show on the road. You're matching my shirt very closely.
I thought about it when I chose this shirt, but wow, we really clash actually. The color's not right, the stripes,
everything's the same.
But so different. All right,
that's
are
because
we
we're
ready?
both dreaming of
cruising.
Sea days and going cruising.
Yes.
40 some odd days.
Oh, be here before you know it.
Yes.
All right, are we ready?
Yep, I think so.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Take 2. I'm actually supposed to blow like that. Anyway.
You're right.
That is it. You go like that. Stop.
All right.
All right.
All right. Get serious. Quit messing around.
Take 4.